good place.
Angela Rayner is understanding this morning there is pressure with this instability. There will be those who support West Streeting who will be arguing if there is an English election, it's got to happen.
We cannot get back.
Again,
because there will be a large
stability.
furious feeling that this has been some stitch-up. There's no guarantee that West Streeting will be allowed to remain in power before the next election. So for a party, we heard, didn't we, the grown-ups are back in charge. I was looking at the speech that Keir Starmer made when the general election was announced. I was in the room.
Should the Prime Minister resign, Minister? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Has the Prime Minister lost the dressing room, Minister?
Labour Party arriving again, no comment
yes,
to the cameras,
the Labour chair there, they're very good of smiling or pretending that we don't exist. Smiles before the cameras, a very Prime Minister, very different, very different, and West Street sadness, real sadness in them, and there is people have said to me,
My eyes
do we just keep getting rid of the Prime Minister every year or quickly? I think today we will pace careful and really wishful. We don't.
And it is really uncomfortable. And it also leads to, I think, one of the big questions that hangs over this question of leadership. For those Labour MPs who will probably the key contenders, some of them
I'm not fit enough, honestly, I'm not. To get to this point. I thought it was very interesting what Jonathan Hinder, all MPs, said last night. He said that the Prime Minister had never
it's like doorstepping,
right?
communicating it better than a lot of people.
So well crossed with the Tories. Now look, the Prime Minister did make the Labour Party not scary as people like it had been under Jeremy Corbyn, but actually they got this big majority, but wafer thin. They actually got about 500,000 less votes than Jeremy Corbyn got back in 2019 when they had the worst results since 1935. So it's where those results get back. But I would say,
whether it comes today,
a year ago, the summit, the NATO summit, where I first asked the Prime Minister, is he confident of leading
it's
very interesting, actually. The reason I asked that was to do the welfare rebellion and absolute fiasco. They wanted to take £5 billion from the welfare bill, and there was a big rebellion by enough of the MPs who just said no. At that point, Labour MPs realised that if enough of them didn't like it, simply stop it happening. And I felt that at that point, the Prime Minister's authority seriously began to drain away. And we have seen so many U-turns, I've lost count to be honest, maybe 16. So there are two the government has been blown around, and you would have thought with a big majority that they could have done whatever they wanted. The reality is that the majority is so big, there were not enough jobs in the people, so lots of MPs will lose their seats for the next election.
When they came to power a couple of years ago,
staggering, and I think the Labour Party argued at the general election that it was a feature of concern.
My feet are cold.
Go with consensus, then we might start seeing cabinet resignations, maybe not today, but maybe not, or down the line.
Well done. Impressive.
He gave an interview just at the weekend saying election and the 10 years of national renewal. It's impossible to say. He's pretty tough. He's pretty ruthless. You know, he came in, so managed to transform the Labour Party. So we thought, but since he's come in, he seems to have been blown around as the repeated churn in number 10. So many chiefs of staff, heads of communications. We've had the Peter Mandelson debacle, and it does feel still that all he says is give like your people says, give like your people. It's not quite clear still what the Prime Minister believes, what he doesn't believe. He says something on one point, then down the line he says something different. I'll give you an example. On the two-child benefit cap, the government came in adamant that it was not affordable to lift the two-child benefit cap, and there was a rebellion over that, and the Labour Party took the whip of a whole load of Labour MPs who rebelled. Fast forward a year or so, and they decide that they will be able to afford it, even though the economic picture is still really, really bleak. And now they are championing that as one of their greatest achievements. So there is a lack of consistency. And no one getting out of the car. Apologies, I'm a bit distracted. I see all the cameras move. Oh, someone is about to come out through the Foreign Office. Let's see who it is. Basically, people come up the street from Downing Street, what I can see, or they come through just behind the cameras.
Should the Prime Minister resign, Minister? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Will you ask the Prime Minister to step down? Has the Prime Minister lost the confidence of the Cabinet?
Steve Reid, again smiling, but he is one
who's coming.
Should the Prime Minister resign, Minister? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Should he fight on, Minister? Should the Prime Minister resign?
Noisy Downing Street. I just think a couple more ministers arrive. It's going to happen.
Two of the Prime Minister's loyalists. We know that Steve Reid, the Housing Secretary, was talking to the Prime Minister last night and urging him to hang on. Lord Herman, the Attorney General, also a key supporter of the Prime Minister. And Pat McFadden has been as well. He's been wheeled out on so many morning rounds, safe on broadcast, but even he, in the last couple of weeks, has started to seem like it's becoming harder for him to keep insisting that all is well. All is very clearly not well. The problem is, what does Labour do now? What they are doing.
It's round there.
So when it's coming?
They also promised very tax rises.
Should the Prime Minister resign, Minister? Is it over for Keir Starmer, Minister? Should he fight on, Minister?
We are waiting.
There's one coming down that way.
Which one? It's Joe Stevens. Should the Prime Minister resign, Minister? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Has Keir Starmer failed Wales, Minister? Should he fight on?
So,
Who?
I think the shouting out has
we have
fallen to one individual in the media camp here as we all look around and don't
yes, well, we don't know about John Healey. There are mixed reports. What John Healey said what Yvette Keir said last night as well. But we've got some breaking news. The government minister very, very soon. PPS's last night, some junior aides on the government ranks, and you just wonder, yesterday, I found it almost impossible to keep up with the number of cases for the Prime Minister to go. I think we're nearly 80 now. When I got home, and I woke up and it was absolutely chaos. And it does feel like things are moving very, very fast. As Boris Johnson said, when the herd has moved it's not a stampede yet. Remember with Boris Johnson.
Should the Prime Minister resign, Minister? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Will you ask the Prime Minister to step down? Where's Streeting? Do you want to be Prime Minister? Where's Streeting? Are you measuring the curtains? Do you want the case to number 10, Mr. Streeting?
A card.
Could be Shabana Mahmood.
2 cards.
No, the one who just gave it. This is the one who just gave, not Justice. There's a woman just before.
West Streeting and the woman.
That's Streeting. Yeah, she just gave the rest. Thank you.
John Healy. John Healy.
10 minutes ago, 8 minutes ago, precisely, she was a minister.
Should the Prime Minister resign, Mr. Healy?
No longer.
Is it over for Keir Starmer? Will you ask the Prime Minister to resign, Mr. Healy? Do you have confidence in the Prime Minister? Should he fight on, Minister?
The weight of the meeting is about to take place. Where Streeting walked in to a
Should the Prime Minister resign, Mr. Miliband? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Will you ask for Keir Starmer to step down, Mr. Miliband?
And that, I think, is interesting and a little bit surprising. The resignations which came from the junior activists were generally seen as coming from allies West Streeting, the health sector, on the right of the Labour. Not when the
6 minutes.
So I am very struck that she has written this resignation letter saying, while progress has been made, we have not acted with vision, taste and ambition which our mandate would shape the demands of us, nor have we governed the Labour Party clear about our values and strong in our convictions. Talks about the stakes of the fuel payment.
Yeah, John Healy.
Okay, good evening now.
Thank you.
She says the message on the doorstep was clear.
It's only 5 minutes they've got to be in. They've got all be in 5 minutes. It's 9:30 starts and so. I haven't seen Shabana Mahmood or Yvette Cooper.
I think that does.
Ah, right.
There were like 4 or 5 cars that they went through there. So,
Yeah.
And one was John Healy, that is the one that came.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Some of them are hiding. Bridget Phillipson as well. There's another one. I haven't seen Lisa Nandi either. No.
Maybe they went around with the car. Because it's been like 5 or 6.
That'll be easier. I can't see it. Fine. Perfect.
in the next few minutes. Stay with us here on BBC News.
Thank you very much, very kind.
We'll switch back to channel now, I think.
Is that breakfast done?
These would be great for departures.
Catherine.
Have you got all the briefs, Anita?
Is Henry going to do chat? So true. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anita, can you do the camera? That's back on. Perfect. Talk off, safety of the shot.
I'm going to take a picture of Catherine from there. Great shot. Catherine. I'll send you a picture. No, I'm saying I'm taking a picture of you and sending you it. More or less.
Yes, welcome to Downing Street, and it feels absolutely chaotic here. We've got well over 100 press. It feels like an enormous day, and in the last few minutes we've had, yes, the cabinet arriving, but the first ministerial resignation from Miata Fumbale, the MP for Peckham. She is a junior minister for devolution, faith and communities, and she's written to the Prime Minister saying that she's proud of all that's been achieved, but she's saying the country faces enormous challenges and people are crying out for the scale of change that this requires. The public does not believe that you can leave.
Yep.
Then she says, therefore, I urge you to do the right thing for the country and the party and set
Okay, Heidi Alexander.
Yeah, she's there.
Okay. Okay. No, James Murray, yeah. Gotta walk at a pace, haven't Should the Prime Minister resign, Ministers? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Will you ask the Prime Minister to step down, Ministers? Do you have confidence in the Prime Minister? Should the Prime Minister fight on, Ministers?
But at least
Yeah, booming voice, mate.
Thank you.
honest and saying that he's ready to mount a challenge if the Prime Minister can't stay.
Well spotted.
Maybe someone else, like 1 or 2.
It's 9:30, so they're late, if it is.
And is there only job? But only for those on their website.
Ah, right. Fair enough.
They got the skills today.
What, sorry? Yes. I've never seen so much equipment. It's
pretty much all of them, but no comments. They don't offer
That's what we were saying earlier, like, what they might think when we
smiles, but
yeah, it's Mara and Heidi,
let's
yeah.
just bring you breaking news because we are hearing for Keir, the Minister, has resigned.
John, some PPSs last night, some junior aides on the government rank, and it does feel like things are moving. Remember with Boris Johnson,
I think so, Lucia.
for that, but it's possible let's just attend this agenda that the King
Bless you.
outlines tomorrow may quickly become obsolete, depending on what happens in that building behind you.
Deliberately done it just before this happened. Let's be clear about that. Just to give you a flavour of some of the things that said, she has said we have not acted with the vision, pace and ambition that our candidates demands of us, nor has the government and the Labour Party clear about our values, strong in our positions, including transition so that the new change. Let me just give you a bit of biographical information and then why this is really true. Biographical information, the MP for Peckham since 2004, an economist who was seen as a real rising star when she came into Parliament. Why this really matters is that the actor Van Buller is not on the right to the Labour team. There was a claim yesterday sworn out by some of the Labour team residing for 2 positions, parliamentary rights, and so on. That they were generally allies with West Street. That's not when the actor Van Buller comes from. If there is one senior minister she's most closely aligned with, it's Ed Miliband on the so-called soft left of the Labour Party. This suggests to me that multiple factions, multiple wings of the Labour Party are now converging in the view that Keir Starmer must go soon. Exactly right. And also, it is getting more senior. Parliamentary Private Secretary resigned yesterday. That's a big deal for a Prime Minister. But when I talk about that on the BBC, I need to explain what a Parliamentary Private Secretary is, right? Because it is an East Westminster thing. A junior minister, well, we all know what a government does. So he's getting more senior. And that is going to feel uncomfortable for the Prime Minister. He knows that. Of course, she resigned just as this crunch on an MET is beginning. We've seen, as you were describing, these almost all of the candidates, well, no, all of the candidates by this point, arrive in Downing Street for this meeting. Allegedly, the agenda is the response to the situation in the Middle East. But I think we all know that what is uppermost in people's minds is the situation in Sudan.
The people in number 10, they feel incredibly sad and say, look, the Prime Minister is a decent man, but it feels like the herd
It's important to reflect that there are a lot of
Labour MPs who just feel that this is frankly mad. Nobody knows what comes next. Andy Burnham, maybe doesn't have time. Angela Rayner, she still owes £1,000. stamp duty. We hear that investigation. Ed Miliband, is a Starmer or somebody else who might throw his hat into the ring. We don't know where it's going to fall. All that has orderly transition. There is no agreement on what might happen.
Did you get everything you needed? Yeah. Good man. You're a legend. Thank you very much. Top man. Thank you, Lewis. Cheers.
But for a year now, his authority has been hanging by a thread, really since that welfare measure tried to make cuts to welfare spending, actually really slowly increasing. In her resignation, so clearly, that is a massive part of it. But they disagree on what the timetable should be. They disagree on what the
Prime Minister, and we have to do it now. The trouble is, look before you leap. We don't know what follows. Nobody knows what follows. And the Prime Minister, well, let's see. I mean, he was adamant yesterday that he wasn't going anywhere, that he's not going to plunge the country into chaos. But it feels like the chaos is already here. And it feels like...
Yes, they are. They are indeed.
Good. You can go to the toilet and breathe.
Yes. We should have heaters. I would like a heater and a coffee machine and all of that. Of course, I'm delusional, but I like it. Get some good snaps. Be enough? Is that a light? No, it's just a... Oh, right, okay. So you guys... Yeah, it's just... No, earlier, the light was quite bright. It was,
Of course. Thank you.
that's back.
Telecamera.
The Prime Minister could try and sack them and replace them with others, or just say no. Sorry.
Well, that's a good question.
Process which we became so wearily familiar.
Any blankets, Freddie?
Actually, we should install, like at cafes
Yes,
outside.
yes.
Radiators.
I'll sign up.
And maybe attach one to the listed.
I'm from the north.
Your legacy. Can you do that for us? I'm trying to make lots of
You see, I've done that 20 years, so. Thank you, Freddie.
just like tucking together.
Which is more Europe. I mean,
This is happening, and the shouting is happening around us for a reason. And say, otherwise, borrowing costs are going to go up, money's going to affect.
Working class communities, much of the country has been struggling for a very long time to keep back to the financial crisis and before. That's why so many of them voted for
Never interrupt you anyway. I think that's generally the vibe of some people in Reform Conservatives. I mean, not necessarily that they think it's a mistake from the Labour Party's point of view to get rid of Keir Starmer, but they're enjoying the Labour Party's chaos and internal divisions because that's what opposition parties do, because I remember Labour politicians, some of them who are in that building right now around the cabinet table, happily telling me how cock-a-doop they were when the Conservative Party had its moments like this. But look, I think there is more of an open question over whether, in the medium term, actually some of the Labour Party's be frustrated. The Labour Party is getting rid of Keir Starmer. Reform UK ran a national campaign saying vote reform, get Starmer out. They saw him as a great asset to that election, which they did pretty well. So I think it's kind of interesting. I assume so. We had in the past in other political parties, but also we saw yesterday that when one parliamentary microphone runs down and the applicant has resigned, they were followed by several others in what appeared to be roughly coordinated. I'd be surprised if they say I'm going to go number 9, especially if Keir Starmer emerges from that cabinet meeting doesn't at least say to timetable has changed.
Yes, so I will be back very shortly when I'll be joined by 2 Labour MPs for their thoughts on this crucial meeting that's taking place and what they think should happen next. But right now, around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News. Thank you, that was a really good chat. Taking lots of time to do that, that's good. Cheers. I'm just going to quickly check. I feel like I've got something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, how long have I got?
Sure. Yeah.
I feel like I've got something stuck to my eye. You can see the pollen floating around here.
Yeah. I gave them a mark. Put it down where she was. She doesn't want excuses.
Emer, if there's anything urgent here or anything coming up, will you wave your phone at me so I'll know to look? Yeah? Hello and welcome back to Downing Street, where that cabinet meeting is getting underway, that crucial cabinet meeting for Sir Keir Starmer, with the Telegraph newspaper suggesting that 6 cabinet ministers are going to be asking him to set out a timetable to resign. And just before that meeting got underway, we heard the news, and timing is everything, that the Communities Minister, Beata Kandola, announced her resignation from that position and called on the Prime Minister to set out a timetable to go. So for that to happen, no coincidence with the timing, I'm sure, just before that Cabinet Minister got underway, is clearly very damaging for the Prime Minister. She is the first Minister to resign her position, calling on the Prime Minister to go. Well, much to talk about. And joining me now are 2 Labour MPs, Toby Perkins, who is the Labour MP for Chesterfield, and Paulette Hamilton, who is the member for Birmingham Erdington. Thank you both so much for joining us in BBC News today as this cabinet meeting is taking place behind me here in number 10. Everything at stake really for the Prime Minister, his political career, his leadership of the party and the government. Toby, you are supportive of Keir Starmer. Do you think, given everything that's happened over the last 24 hours, that he can stay on?
This is Breednick Line, this is the Prime Minister at the top of the cabinet. As I said yesterday,
Toby. Toby, I'm so sorry. I'm going to Toby. Toby Perkins MP. I do apologise. I'm going to interrupt you just for a moment. Henry Zephyr, our chief political correspondent, is still with us here, and he wants to bring us some breaking news. Henry.
I have some words that the Prime Minister said at this cabinet meeting, which is unfolding right now. This is how he began the meeting. As I said yesterday, I take responsibility for these election results, and I take responsibility for delivering the change we promised. The past 48 hours have been destabilising for government, and that has a real economic cost for our country and for families. The Labour Party has a process for challenging a leader, and that has not been triggered. The country expects us to get on with governing. That is what I am doing, and what we must do as a cabinet. Anita, that is Keir Starmer saying to the Cabinet, and then through us, to Labour MPs, come and have a go if you think you're hard. He is saying we don't have a situation of no confidence letters. He's saying if you want to get rid of me, 81 of you need to back an alternative candidate, and they will have to fight me with the Labour Party membership. That is the message, and it is a tough message that the Prime Minister is trying to convey this month.
Fighting talk, and I was talking earlier about the chief of the store, about whether he should go or whether he should stay, and those who want him to stay are really saying that this is very chaos, when so much attention needs to be paid to the economy because of the war with Iran, etc. To change the leader now would be damaging, so he is leaning into that argument.
He is, and that was not a given the amount of pressure the Prime Minister has come under, including from his Home Secretary, last night, from more than 70 MPs publicly. I mean, I think really this is a message directed, in terms of that cabinet meeting, given it was delivered at the cabinet table, one person. Wes Streeting, the health secretary. We know, and the Prime Minister has known for some time, because Wes Streeting told him this 6 months ago to his face, that Wes Streeting has been ready, has been preparing should a leadership election take place. This is the Prime Minister saying, I'm not triggering that leadership election by resigning. You're going to have to trigger it by resigning. You're going to have to trigger it by coming for me. Two questions now. One, will Wes Streeting change his approach? Will he take the bait, essentially? Will he try to confound that old political maxim that he who wields the knife never wears the crown? And two, how will Labour MPs respond to this? In response to Sir Keir Starmer's fighting talk, will there be more ministers who resign? More MPs who say the Prime Minister has to go? But even then, the Prime Minister's view seems to be, we're not the Conservative Party, no confidence letters are not part of our constitution, you're going to have to find a candidate and they're going to have to take decisions.
So, I'm sure he has a lot of information already about this, but it is quite a response.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll have been saying that anyway. He may not even know that Miatta Van will resign, but yes, absolutely, and it will be fascinating to see whether more ministers resign. Of course, what we also can't know is how the Cabinet responded to those words. And funnily enough, I don't think Downing Street are going to be circulating the responses of the Cabinet ministers in the same way they've circulated what the Prime Minister said at the start of the meeting. So that's going to be a reporting job that we will do over the course of the morning. But look, I mean, I don't know whether a Cabinet Minister right now is responding by saying the Prime Minister, you've got it wrong, you've got to go. I don't know whether they're all doing that weird political thing and banging the table in support of him. Who knows it is? It is fascinating.
It is, Henry, clearly from a psychological perspective, this is the Prime Minister trying to head off any waverers, any doubters, any members of the Cabinet who are thinking, I'm not quite sure, I'm going to be one way, I might be the other way. This is the trying to say. And you said it, I don't buy, and
yeah, absolutely right. And of course, sorry, bad day for AP sufferers as well as for Keir Starmer. But the risk for the Prime Minister in this approach is that Cabinet Ministers who might have been wavering, might have actually been trying to sit this one out, now have to make a call either way. But the Prime Minister is putting the onus on somebody here, maybe West Street, maybe someone else, to actually force this matter. And that is a power that he has under the Labour Party rule. So it will be fascinating to see whether anyone rises to the challenge that he insists on.
Okay, Henry, could you recap for us
I'm just going to read it again. I think that's the easiest thing to do. These are direct quotes, according to Downing Street. The Prime Minister said at the start of the cabinet meeting, he said this: "As I said yesterday, I take responsibility for these election results, and I take responsibility for delivering the change we promised. The past 48 hours have been destabilising for government, and that has a real economic cost for our country and for families. The Labour Party has a process of challenging a leader, and that has not been true. The country expects us to get on with governing. That is what I'm doing. We must do as a country."
Okay, Henry, stay with us. Thank you very much. I'm going to return to our guests, the Labour MPs, Toby Perkins, Labour MP for Chesterfield, Paulette Hamilton, MP for Birmingham Erdington. And thank you both very much for your patience. Apologies for delaying speaking to you. I just want to get your immediate reaction to what the Prime Minister has said. I hope you were able to hear that. Toby Perkins first.
Well, would you manage to? They want to come to me now, and Ollie's gone to the loo.
And Paulette Hamilton, the same question to you, your reaction to what the Prime Minister has said, to what your Labour colleague Toby Perkins has just said.
Well, this is what his office agrees with about, apparently. Yeah, I'm just going to get myself right now.
It's not connected. It's not connected. It's not connected. You need to connect it to the other thing.
Literally about 30 seconds or so to register.
You're going to have to project.
It's like Gobby. Gobby number 2.
There is a difference between Gobby and this young man here. All right, now. How's it going? Celsius.
He was from somewhere south of London.
They asked me if they want to hear it loud.
No, he does. He did, rather. He did.
Paulette, do you think
I set it up.
the King's speech when the Labour government is due to set out to bring in that it would be less stabilising for Keir Starmer to set out the time they have to go than to say, he's staying on?
Take the focus. It's great. They are judging that.
Was it yesterday?
Paulette, I just need to say sorry, yes, we're almost out of time to allow Toby to come in. Paulette suggests that Keir Starmer is just not the right individual to lead the parties forward, to lead the government forward. Very briefly, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Okay, and that is, it seems, a message from the Prime Minister today as he started that cabinet meeting. Toby Perkins and Paulette Hamilton, Labour MPs, thank you so much for joining us here on BBC News. So yes, that cabinet meeting, crucial cabinet meeting is underway in Downing Street behind me. The Prime Minister opened with the statement in which he was very clear he wanted to fight on essentially a challenge to members of the cabinet to back him, and he is saying that he wants to avoid chaos. He is saying that if members of the party persist with this attempt to remove him from office or to ask him to set out a timetable to resign, that it will only bring more chaos to the voters, more chaos to the country. We will have all the latest for you here, so do stay with us on BBC News. Welcome to Downing Street, the cabinet meeting behind me, an absolutely critical meeting for the Prime Minister, but some words have been breathed out to us to the effect that the Prime Minister says he's going nowhere. So apparently he will be telling the meeting, as I said yesterday, I take responsibility for all these election results and I take responsibility for delivering the change that was promised. The past 48 hours have been destabilising for the government, and that has a real economic cost for our country and for families. The Labour Party has a process for challenging a leader, and that has not been triggered. The country expects us to get on with governing. That is what we are doing, and what we need to do as a cabinet. So that is the message of the Prime Minister to the cabinet. Will they listen? We know that Siobhan Mahmood and some others have asked him to set out a timetable to leave, but we know that others, Steve Freed, the Housing Secretary, Lord Herman, the Attorney General, David Lammy, the Justice Secretary, are saying, no, you mustn't go, you need to stand firm. And of course, the Prime Minister is saying he doesn't want to go because he doesn't want to plunge the country into chaos. And we're already seeing some chaos because the financial markets are open, the stock market is down, bond yields are up, as Keir Johnson used to run the IFF said. Borrowing has got more expensive for all of us, and that is very depressing. This is all coming at a time where the economy is not in a good place, where the war in Iran is sending our bills rocketing. That situation is likely to get dramatically worse in the coming months, even if the Strait of Hormuz is reopened, which is not going to happen anytime soon. Let's face it, there's a war in Ukraine, there's global instability, we're living in a dangerous world. The Prime Minister's argument is we need stability, this is not the time to indulge in a civil war. But look, we've also hit that symbolic threshold of 81 Labour MPs openly calling for the Prime Minister to go. That is 1/5 of the parliamentary Labour Party. So I think that is significant. But then again, it hasn't actually triggered a protest yet. Will somebody in that building behind me decide to start that protest? Wes Streeting, lots of colleagues very cross with him behind it, but his allies told me this morning he's absolutely not asked anybody to go over the top at all, but he's one of many people that would like the Prime Minister's job.
Tea? Can you tell me what's coming before the tea, Dan?
Welcome to Downing Street. We are live here, and this is BBC News. So Keir Starmer tells his cabinet...
The Prime Minister saying he's not going anywhere, but in the end, it might be a decision that is taken from him.
The Prime Minister also says the process for challenging the Labour leader has not been triggered at the meeting with his top team. So as the Prime Minister fights for his future and faces off with his cabinet here in Downing Street, we'll continue with our live coverage on BBC News. But that the process for challenging a leader hasn't been triggered, and as a result, he says he will get on with governing. So as that meeting got underway, the first government minister resigned her post, a really interesting piece of timing. In a post on X, Miata Fanbola, Communities Minister, told the Prime Minister, "Our country faces enormous challenges and people are crying out for the scale of change that this requires." She went on, "The public does not believe that you can lead this change, and nor do I. Our faith and communities." She joins 72 other Labour MPs who have publicly urged Sir Keir Starmer to go now or to set out a timetable for the departure. We don't know yet how the Prime Minister's message was received by his cabinet. We do know that there is a split in the room. Among the ministers calling for him to set out a schedule, a timetable for his resignation. Well, is our Chris Mason. Chris,
No, because when they call now, he say yes, he can do it. I mean, until they ask him before it doesn't matter. It's up to them. They need to understand.
Hello? Great question. Check the lockers and the back door. Yeah, the bag probably arrived today. Given that that happened yesterday, if not, someone's going to go down to the hospital.
Well, yes, so the herd is moving, as Boris Johnson said, the herd is moving. At the moment, the Prime Minister is standing there and saying, "I am not going anywhere." So he has some words brief that he has told his cabinet, saying that he takes responsibility for delivering the change that he promised, and saying that the last 48 hours have been destabilising for the government and that it has an economic cost for our country and for families. We've seen that already when the markets opened this morning. The cost of borrowing is higher, the stock market is falling, not like instability, and our economic position is already pretty bleak at the moment. So I think everything hangs on what happens in the cabinet meetings taking place right now. We've got 81 MPs that are trying to call for the Prime Minister to go. That's the fifth parliament in the Labour Party. That is significant. That's the number needed for a challenge. But the thing is, there is no unity around who is the right person to take the Prime Minister's place. We've also got the fact that the King's speech is tomorrow. We've got troops parading at 5:30 in the morning. The King is going to set out the government's legislative agenda. Is this really the time to push a Prime Minister out now? What will hang on what is said in the meeting and how many of the cabinet say that they think it's time to go. We know that Starmer has said that. We know that Ed Miliband has previously said that. We know that others like Lord Herman, like David Lammy, like Steve Wood are saying that he should be on. Darren Jones, who's one of the PM's allies in North Party, he was saying, I can't get ahead of any decisions that he might make. But he also said that ministers need to stand behind the Prime Minister. So frankly, I have no idea what happens now. Nor does there anybody else, not even the Prime Minister. I mean, he might as well to resign. We doesn't. We don't know when the feeling like when he goes, but if he does go, he's got no idea who might replace him. Andy Burnham's the favourite, doesn't have a seat. Angela Rayner still able to hear 45 minutes in stamp duty. There's still an investigation going on. Ed Miliband, well, apparently he didn't want it, but he might have a reason. We don't know where this ends, and this all comes at a time of great geopolitical uncertainty, economic instability. Who knows where we will be in Parliament.
Microphone. Oh, you have those?
Yeah,
Never you.
so they make the
You see her?
Me?
I'd be a gentleman like for...
No, because I cannot proper do the camera stuff. But thank you though.
Hello, thank you for those comments.
You pay, by the way.
Also had a like and I just want to know, I'm going to nip off now, so I'm just and I'll come straight back. But would you mind to check what the time I've got? Do I have a 10:45? Oh, that's fine. In that case, I'm going to go now quickly to Blue and grab a coffee, but I'll be back by okay. All right. Thanks so much. You too. Thanks. Bye.
Like this country is worse than in Spain, eh? Much worse. Yeah. But much worse.
weeks.
Just we can now be escorted to the toilet and whatnot.
Oh, that's nice of them. And there is something in there beyond the self-serving position of the which is the could be and could be more process is long as good. However, the counter the very least that government there's a lot of diary rearranging area the reality at the moment is so mid-time that people might have to what we're going to do the next 10 minutes, and that's kind of where the future will
You were prepared. I was completely all the time on my own. Not all the time it did.
I wanted to eat.
I'm happy with the sun.
I want to stand up right there.
Yeah.
Forget this life.
I think it's actually absurd that if you were to walk the half a mile from here and Parliament down the road, you see the absurdity of all the roads that are going to be in the back. Why is the carriage the sovereign will open Parliament, the state open
Make sure it's
every year or so for a session of Parliament where they're going to set out by the well, which government? Led by who? That is a live question right now. Minutes or in hours, but who will be around to lead the government to implement that legislation? That is totally live question. Which is
Apparently, as Instability has consequences. Yes, we're showing that now too. This is not instability has consequences. Like the people who elected us less than 2 years ago, we must unite behind
they don't want these from the same place. They come
squarely
or groups of them from different.
But the rest, even if they're also prepared, you're going to see them.
Yeah, we have a rearguard action. Authentically articulate but also get to the views of the policymakers. Many of them are deeply unpopular. They don't see how it role they can see how on the doorstep and that includes, by the way, some of those who have come to a resolution that the Prime Minister wants to go. The way example in the last few days, I was talking to one of those who was on the 70, 80 odd who were saying, that's the reality of the kind of there was no way the language
in the city of London Chancellor or
I mean, it is a bit soul destroying. Yeah.
and a chancellor who's been in the best part of the last 2 years. Yeah, I've got knowing
down the street. So that cabinet meeting continuing behind me. We saw that the Prime Minister threw down the gauntlet at the start of that meeting with short statement to his colleagues there in Cabinet, urging them not to plunge the UK into chaos effectively. That was the gist of what he was saying. We had a post from the House Secretary as the meeting was apparently taking place, saying this is not a game, warning against instability, urging the party to back the Prime Minister, and at the same time we're hearing that the number of MPs calling on the Prime Minister to go to set up a timetable for his departure has picked up slightly, now standing at 78, so approaching a quarter of the party's parliamentary body. We will be back here very shortly with you in Downing Street, or very late right now, a short break around the world and across the UK. This is BBC News. That's very helpful. Yes, and I will help with that one as well. Did you catch that? I've got Henry back with me as well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hey, hang on. Okay, we're going to move you both that way.
Hello and welcome back to Downing Street, which is going to be the scene of a really consequential day for politics in the UK, one way or another. The Cabinet is having a meeting right now as they debate the future of the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, but he threw down the gauntlet at the start of that meeting and said that he was determined to fight on, basically saying that to do otherwise, to change the leadership at this point, would be hugely chaotic for the country, and that he had a job to do that he wanted to get on with. At the same time as that cabinet meeting was getting underway, we saw the first ministerial resignation. Biangola, the Communities Minister, calling on the Prime Minister to set out a timetable to go, and the number of MPs calling him to do that has ticked up ever so slightly over the course of the last hour, so from 72 to 78. But then in the cabinet meeting itself, you had the Housing Secretary writing a post on social media saying that it would be essentially ridiculous for the party to try to change leadership, and that it would only deliver instability. So that is a broad overview of what's been happening in the last hour or so. We just don't know what the cabinet is going to do after this. Many of them likely will without having fully made up their minds, without fully having arrived at a position of what they want the Prime Minister to do. But we do know that Shabana Secretary said this yesterday, wants the Prime Minister to set out a schedule for his departure. So he is in there really fighting for his leadership of the party, the government, the UK right now, and trying to persuade those cabinet ministers around the table to back him. Let's just show you some of those ministers arriving a little earlier today in Downing Street for that meeting, which is now underway. Each new arrival was greeted with a similar question from all of us waiting journalists here. So take a listen. Well, in that post from Steve Reid, the Housing Secretary, apparently while the cabinet meeting was taking place, he said the instability that all of this debate over the Prime Minister's future is causing has real consequences, he said, for people's lives. And one of the things that we're looking at today is how the markets are reacting to this, because we know that the markets do not like instability. And joining us now is Ramzan Kamali from BBC Business. So Ramzan, tell us, how are the markets reacting to what's happening here in politics in the UK?
Oh yeah, do that, definitely. I've got a signal. He's like, hang on, helmet. So we all have like fun. Did you get rejected? What happened? No. Yeah. Did you get turned away? Why wouldn't they let you go? Too late. No.
Okay, Ramzan, thank you for that update on the market situation. Ramzan Kamali there for us, and our chief political correspondent Henry Zepman is with me. Henry, we've got about a minute and a half.
The Prime Minister is saying to his party in general, and Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary in particular, pull up or shut up. That's the phrase John Major used when his leadership was under strain, and that is where Sir Keir Starmer is heading. He has essentially dared the cabinet to remove him, dared the Labour Party more generally, to bring back his rival to displace him. He's saying, look, it's all well and good, he's saying it's all well and good to have 70 or wherever we are now, approaching 80 Labour MPs saying they don't have confidence in him. That's not how Labour's rules work. They are going to have to back a rival candidate. Starmer is saying that in the knowledge that those who want for him to go are divided. Some of them want Andy Burnham because they want the Labour Party to move to the left in some cases. Others want Wes Streeting instead. Okay, so it's not that even if something did decide to rise to that step, that all of those 70, 80 MPs would back one candidate. Keir Starmer is fighting the same direction.
Go ahead. Please.
You're disappearing. Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to
That
find
sounds
out.
good, Cameron. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
No, I don't think so. No.
Hey, Joe.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
it's very easy. So what do we need? This is very good.
Yeah.
In a package, would that be?
Yeah. Let me tell secretary.
Channel 2. Channel 2. 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Henry said you can't see it. Sorry.
I hope so.
It's getting my throat.
Yeah.
I've got some eczema, yeah. Yeah, I think we can talk about what does it do for that person, for people. So we can talk about that.
Sure. Thank you. And on the really subtle, isn't it? It's shove it. That green cable goes in that hole. No, leave it in that end. Just stick it in that end.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
But it's not on air yet, Richard.
No, just to frame it shot.
Frame it, yeah. And then we can just relax a little bit. We'll be ready for lunchtime.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Thank you. That's it. Oh, sorry. So we don't want to cancel. You're going to have to where you are, please. In fact, just go that way, the time is starting. And just turn to me. This is for the, when we do our... I've got Cindy with number 10.
To step down from their challenges to him, not all the counter-viewers are opposing him. We heard from the Housing Secretary, Steve Reid, who during that meeting, posted on social media, urging the parties to unite behind the Prime Minister and
Perfect. Looks just really nice and straight and elevated.
Next, how these cabinet ministers will react during that meeting. Will they combine that whole way? Position is obviously
Have you asked the Prime Minister to step down, Minister? Should the Prime Minister resign? Has anyone got the guts to challenge Keir Starmer? Is he now the Prime Minister in name only? Is he right to fight on, Steve Reid? Should he continue?
Steve Reid, the Housing Secretary, who was just mentioned during that meeting, his support for the Prime Minister and
Have you asked the Prime Minister to step down, Lisa Nandy? Should the Prime Minister resign? Has anyone got the guts to challenge Keir Starmer? Is it over for the Prime Minister? Should the Prime Minister resign, Ministers? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Has anyone got the guts to challenge Keir Starmer? Is the Prime Minister in name only? Should the Prime Minister resign, Bridget Phillipson? Is it over for Keir Starmer? You support the Prime Minister, basically.
It's hard to tell over your fucking shouting.
I did pause for a period, though.
Oh, that's very cool.
Well, you know.
You started shouting when he was answering the question.
Yeah. You've got to take your chance.
I can't tell because this guy was shouting. I told you to stop. I told you to put the microphone because he was saying something. Every time you try to talk to me now, I'm going to shout over.
Hey, go on. I'd like to see you beat me. You might actually. You'll be giving us that yows from Dudley.
It's always the quiet one.
You're more eloquent though, Ollie.
My words hit harder.
I think you're a scrap top,
Talk about politics. Where's Catherine?
I'm not in charge of my headphones. I'm sure she'll know. I'm sure she'll. Have you asked the Prime Minister to step down, Minister? Should the Prime Minister resign, Peter Keir? Ed Miliband, should the Prime Minister resign? Have you asked the Prime Minister to step down? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Should the Prime Minister resign, Peter Keir? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Liz Kendall, should the Prime Minister resign? Have you asked the Prime Minister to step down, Liz Kendall? Is it over for the Prime Minister? Should the Prime Minister resign, Pat McFadden? Is it over for Keir Starmer? Is he finished, Pat McFadden? Is he Prime Minister in name only, Pat McFadden? Is his time up? Is this the end, Pat McFadden? Is he right to fight on? Pat McFadden, is the Prime Minister delusional by carry on? Should he go, Pat McFadden? First major on this side. No one else can hear, like, some BBC or something. Like, they're all like literally going. Where's
Yeah, he said the words. I'm not sure that's right. He says nothing.
Laugh, don't you, Charlie?
Yeah, so as far as
chuckling away.
that means nobody
Dawson come out of a little fat as well.
actually formally go for it to run against this decision. As a recap, the Prime Minister's argument over the years was that the leadership process has not been triggered. It doesn't matter how many MPs say they do or don't have confidence in it. 81 MPs are back right on power. What's the addition among those
Go, and I'll tell you how to put it back depending on what's happening tomorrow. Last night, might have to do that. We'll know by later. But yeah, the kit's all mainly 61.
Well,
this is a rather different situation. These cabinet want to tell us what is going on, and the Prime Minister is going in the eyes of those commercial bodies. Well, look, some of them kept good. Which is a close ally in the Aspen.
Have you asked the Prime Minister to step down, Minister? Should the Prime Minister resign, Anna Turley? Is it over for Keir Starmer?
She's the chair of the Labour Party.
yes, we've heard that from quite a few. We're getting on with the job. And I just wonder, or should I put this in? We'll go out on those.
I've been speaking to a lot of people over the course of this cabinet meeting, as everybody digests what the Prime Minister says. Supporters of West Streeting, opponents of West Streeting, people who just want to pull a pillowcase, put their head on a pillow and hope it all goes away. The whole spectrum of the Labour Party. A lot of them West Streeting must be. The assumption of loads of people, although this is denied by allies of history, is that some of the resignations yesterday, as Parliament supervisors, some of the emphasis in the management they're doing so because they want to we all know how many people have come out so far? 6 months.
I understand. Well, yeah, well, you know, I'm not a human being.
Stand up. Does he end with the ministry? That is actually one of the things I think of the Prime Minister's gambit today. And
Where's my please? Steve, Pat?
No, I can't hear. To resign, I don't know. To tell him he's sorry. I mean, we really don't know. This is a
Can't hear anything.
fascinating.
Who are the one speaking? Steve, please, Pat McFadden and who else?
In the puzzle of this day that we are trying to have the pieces, aren't we, and work out what it actually means for the Labour Party, for the government of the UK.
Does it show what they said? Well, yeah, Steve Reid was tweeting. No, I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything. Yes, I can hear you now. Sorry, I couldn't hear anything before.
This bit of the scrum, the clear indication I took from it.
Thank you.
Broadcast studios supporting the Prime Minister just yesterday morning. But Peter Coe is Wes Street's best friend in politics, so that is quite a significant division between the intention. We don't know what Wes Street is. So that's significant. We also have Peter Green, close ally of the Prime Minister, posted on it.
Not like that, no.
Who else have we seen? We also got a right
I think he said, yeah, I'm pretty sure he said, you know, we're getting on with the job.
And Tony, the chair of the Labour Party,
You're getting on with the job again.
Miliband didn't say anything. I certainly didn't hear it.
He did not say it.
That's interesting. Potentially, it might not be, but we're in a creative situation here where we go Ed Miliband, the energy secretary, nobody will need to be reminded, but I'm going to do it anyway, former leader of the Labour Party from 2010 to 2015, beat one Andy Starmer. Ed Miliband, I mean, there's been reports in the past 3 weeks that Ed Miliband all these elections suggested that the Prime Minister Miliband is not going to be restricted. So he would want a different outcome than any for those Ministerial allies. This morning, just before the Secretary came the first Minister resigned from the government.
Yeah, and just to recap a little bit more what Peter Keir was saying, as we mentioned, he said nothing triggered in terms of a leadership challenge. He also said it's about the process. What really big important piece of the conversation
Have you asked the Prime Minister to stand down, Lord Hermer? Should the Prime Minister resign? Is it over for Keir Starmer?
Not explicit support from the Let me tell you, British Home Secretary
Who's not come out?
Sorry?
Who's not come out?
Where Streeting hasn't came out. That's a noticeable one. Perhaps he's saying, please don't challenge me. You never know.
What's going to come out without that?
I'll make you Chancellor, Wes, if you don't challenge me.
Who's going to make you now?
Oh, they're just not happy about anything.
You're not happy when he says win.
Who's not happy?
Oh, because I can hear all of those little things.
Well, they should come down here and see for themselves.
Wes Streeting, do you want to be Prime Minister? Will you challenge Keir Starmer? Wes Streeting, do you want the job or not? Are you measuring the curtains, Mr. Streeting?
Yeah, he came out with a massive rush of them.
But I think he's going to have to wheel it all down the front. We need to find our cabinet. He's going to be in the Christmas, yeah.
I'll still get a job, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Can you or Johnny go and meet him?
Yes, well, good morning. We're down in the street where the Cabinet have been emerging following that critical meeting we just saw, where the street. Now, all the questions now, 81 MPs. Or there could be a pause for King's speech and the Prime Minister still in office. At the moment, simply no one knows.
So she's really been front and centre of the Labour Party's attempt to deal with immigration, irregular immigration.
Da-da-da.
But I don't think he's focused on this morning. This is a man battling in the inner mechanics of the Labour Party for his own position. And it is very much a discussion playing out in the ear of hundreds of the national and international media. But this is the backing of 81 Labour MPs to take you, Keir Starmer, on for the leadership. Keir Starmer doesn't need 81 MPs. Keir Starmer, as the sitting leader of the Labour Party, is automatically on the back. So we could well end up with a situation here where Sir Keir Starmer fights a leadership election among the Labour Party members against West Streeting, Angela Rayner, whoever, name it. And that's potentially fascinating because while it would be an internal Labour Party contest, it gives Sir Keir Starmer the opportunity to make arguments in public. More generally, the Parliamentary Labour Party might have to make, because yesterday came the state of heroism for the Prime Minister, not because of any of the people who walked in and out of the
the Cabinet come out publicly back the Prime Minister and also the Prime Minister to clearly tell his party, his Cabinet, what to
It's Baroness Jenny Chapman.
When no one has a stop.
Member of House of Lords, Philip.
When no one has a stop.
for now, we're now waiting to see what the reaction will be. Coming out making supportive noises about the Prime Minister, all except for where's he treating. Will he make his move? It may be the best chance he'll ever get. He's the Mayor of Greater Manchester. He is the prince over the water, if you like. He is a favourite among many Labour MPs to be the next Prime Minister. He doesn't have to look at the Labour. There is a Labour Prime Minister. The Cabinet meeting has just concluded. He has a succession of Cabinet ministers, coming out and saying that the Prime Minister is showing leadership, that they are united on dealing with the challenges facing the country, and basically that he's going nowhere. That is the message that Number 10 briefed to us when the Cabinet meeting was still going on. One exception to that sort of show of solidarity was the Health Secretary West Riding, a man who we all know is the Prime Minister. He's made no secret of that for many, many years. He came out, he said nothing, but there's so much speculation that he might decide to leave now. I spoke to one of his allies earlier and they said, look, he said he will not start if it comes to him when it's the Prime Minister will remain. He is going to challenge. He's not going to
Ollie's just spotted it.
Nobody knows what happens next. It was a government that came on the back of Labour chaos. They promised to end the chaos, to bring stability, and yet here we are again. And if this Prime Minister goes, we could be looking at 6 Prime Ministers in Britain in just 7 years. no, because basically, yes, he's in the best position. Anti-Burnham doesn't have a seat. That would take weeks, even if somebody stood down by-election, even if it ends up changing their rules, it might be a contest to get the rules him out. But there is no way.
Baroness Chapman, is the game over for this Prime Minister? Should the Prime Minister resign? Is it right that he fights on, Baroness Chapman? Will anyone challenge the Prime Minister?
But clearly that, according to her account, that meeting was very much focused on delivering for the electorate in terms of the key issues. Remember the original purpose of this cabinet meeting today was talking about the war the US war with Iran and the impact of that war of people here in the UK in terms of security, crisis, and so on. So really interesting that she's come back to the leader of the Labour Party, the leader of the Labour Party, things that he then later abandoned, and they got elected, promising an end to chaos, promising change, quickly enough for Liberal, and there's no indeed to be laying out a legislative agenda. If the Prime Minister has already said that he is going to stand down, I don't know what's going to happen in the next few hours, but it could be that people decide to hold their horses for now and we get through the King's speech, but then people move after that. It's very, very febrile for all the people having a nervous breakdown about what has happened in the elections and thinking we need to get rid of him and we need to get rid of him now. There's plenty of others who feel despairing, very sad.
No, it's just really quite slow.
Because they promised change, they promised not to be like the Conservatives. Labour find it difficult to get Prime Ministers into number 10, to get Prime Ministers elected. And of course, if they replace the Prime Minister, opposition parties will say they have no mandate. just as happened when the Tories removed Boris Johnson, then we have Liz Truss and Rishi Sunak, and people would say the public did not vote for this, and if they change Sir Keir Starmer, the public will not have had the chance to vote for the new leader, and that new leader could take them in a very different direction. Andy Burnham, he said, basically, don't worry too much about the bond markets. Well, the bond markets are absolutely having the heebie-jeebies. The cost of borrowing is going through the roof. It was already high. The stock market is falling. And that's one of the arguments saying that economic stability is important. Stability is important. Because if you don't have that, there is an economic cost. Seeing that play out, that's happening at a time where I think it's already
one of which might lead to him being Prime Minister, the other of which could be the end of his
and the situation is likely to get dramatically it's a high stakes situation for him. It's high stakes, everything is happening. Take this moment. Yes, that's right. Peter Kyle is an ally of Wes Streeting. At the moment, he is sounding loyal. He said we've been talking about the challenges that face the country. We know that the two of them went out to the cinema at the weekend, and I think they saw, was it The Devil Wears Prada 2? I think they did. So they were asked the other day what had been discussed, and Peter Kyle said, well, we always discuss the state of the world and the leadership, but sort of intimated that they hadn't discussed the Prime Minister specifically, owed to have been a fly on the wall. Saying that they will stop the chaos. Well, that is her optimistic view, but it does feel like the chaos, frankly, is already here. Do you know what? Thank you. But tell me when they can't hear me.
Ollie, can you turn off the volume of the mic?
Can they hear me?
Can you put the microphone?
It's Natalie.
Should the Prime Minister resign, James Murray? Is this the end of the road for Keir Starmer? Bloody hell. No, I'm speaking to Pat on my desk now, Pat the format, and I've said he wants us to stand down.
Sorry.
And he believes that the leadership it's had to have been where an elector is being threatened. Seems so surprising.
Alright, this guy? Alright?
Just to let you know, I'm going to have to charge my phone.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just. Through the gods.
SUV. No, he didn't have one in there. Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Like, we're not robots. I don't have eyes at the back of my head.
Yes. Are we done here?
Stay a touch longer to be safe.
But
I agree.
Political editor, the BBC's political editor. Thank you very much indeed. I want to get Chris's thoughts and analysis on what's been happening, and it certainly has been an incredibly busy few hours here in Downing Street. It's incredibly busy 30-40 minutes or so as those cabinet ministers left number 10, and as you will have seen if you've been with us, some of them spoke, others giving nothing away. Let's just take a
Well, the ones that came to talk to us were all very optimistic, positive about the PM. We just spoke to her in a chat with us a few minutes ago. She is an uber Starmer loyalist, and she said that we're getting on with working out how to deliver the people they need. And I said, you said you'd stop the chaos, and she said, we will stop the chaos. We will stop the chaos. So that's from a member of the cabinet this time. Although it feels very much like the chaos is very much already here. Clearly she, and there are others in the cabinet too, feel that this is not the time to change leader, not least because Westminster is getting ready for a huge tomorrow to lay out the national agenda for the next term. But I think what happens is how they could be critical. Westminster very, very tightly
Calls.
The general cabinet of voting while he is out of the picture and doesn't have but if Westminster yesterday, he won't know where he's going to say the left-hand party will allow that. So then he might be Angela Rayner. Well, the HMRC is still investigating her over tax. She said yesterday that it was a mistake not Prime Minister set out the timetable and go. He apparently doesn't do top job. But again, people are not just going to sit aside and let West Streeting want into Downing Street. But of course, we are getting educated ahead of that. Current Prime Minister is going to have nothing going triggered the words of another Minister, no leadership challenge has been triggered. Well, joining me now is Professor John Tom, Professor of Politics at the University of
much, John, for joining us here on BBC News. I think we need to sort of take a collective breath and reflect on what's been happening here over the last few hours. Just give us your initial thoughts. On the culture chat as well, should I forward you? Sure.
That's all of them, right? Oh, I think so. I think it's, we're strengths of it, partners,
Yeah, you can use some of this.
Yeah.
Really, you really.
I'm not good for much. I think it's just like a call.
I know we are matching. I got ready this morning last night. You okay?
Yeah.
See you in a bit.
Thank you. You too. You're sorry? Oh, where is that?
Yorkshire tea, I like.
Yeah, the battle analogy is a vivid one.
Yes.
Yeah, around 80 MPs have called the Prime Minister to go. I think it's important to reflect that it doesn't mean that Julian's right would coalesce around this meeting as a potential carriage over.
Oh, got you. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and we ran that in, it's in already.
Yes, sir. That bottle of tea there. Yeah.
John, we're very nearly out of time. Briefly, how damaging is this for Labour ahead of the King's speech tomorrow when it sets out its parliamentary programme for the year? John, thank you very much. Professor John Tongue from the University of Liverpool there with his thoughts on, well,
I mean, yeah,
very fast-moving few hours here in Downing Street. The cabinet meeting is over. Some ministers
Lucia saying there was a lot of cars inside. Do you think
they left already? The cars are there, just that one is there, but it just is.
Okay, so yeah, we sort of knew that there isn't any more. Obviously, Downing Street's fully pressed because they're going to do all of their, lives and all of that for those events. But there's 4 minutes more ministers.
4 minute break. Yeah. All together.
Okay, no worries.
Right, 6 and 10 are definitely down here. Sophie at 6, Fiona at 7.
I just want to make a couple of observations. First of all, I'm working 9 days straight.
Yeah.
4 o'clock for the last 2 days. I am
We're going to need both.
I'm not supposed to. I had presented.
So,
Brilliant. Okay. They like this.
12 to 2.
So, and yes. Oh, I do not have
Let me just check. Sorry. Just hearing about it.
Johnny shouldn't say anything.
I'll always give them a wave in the gallery, see if anyone can tell me. Hello gallery.
We've got audio queuing. I know you won't.
Yeah, can anyone just talk me through what the running order is, just immediately after the headlines?
It's an interesting day. It's digging in. Yeah, we did. All of the Preston and Steve Reed.
Here it is. I've got it.
Kyle came across, Kendall came across as well. 5 or 6 1 or 2 sort of got read. Very unusual because basically, I haven't done it. This part I've done it about 2 years. I've done it longer, but a lot of the experienced journalists really ever do that. But they're all
Business reaction, yeah. Market reaction, yeah, it does. I don't see. Oh yeah, I can see the John Healy post on X.
It's not kind of stock position part. So, private sector is right. Yes, those are the rules.
Yeah, no, I don't think. It doesn't feel like it's quite the right moment for it.
No.
Yeah.
Someone, those people that's the thing. So it's not easy to just
Sorry, just fixing my mic. Just pop it off. I think I've got it. Is that sounding okay? Is that all right? Just reposition the mic. Happy with time? Great, thank you.
It's a better than sorry. I'd
Really? Yeah, as soon as you leave the shop, it's quality. I mean, oh, I think 10 seconds from by.
yeah, not everyone can do that. No.
I just wanted to say because I just feel that none of this is my fault and I'm really doing my best. Yeah, I'll also the team. Like, someone really needs to tell me what the team is going to say. I have no idea. I didn't say they literally said a line that was
What I wonder though is why is that even in the street as they elect there? Because it's just like giving people.
Well, it might be counterproductive because they use the
some people they'll do cheapness too. But notice it's been a beautiful day down in Sweden. The weather's quite nice. It's been a little bit cold, but it's been actually quite pleasant.
I wouldn't find it very much.
No, I've had to put gloves on and jumper and alternate. Yeah, that's the only thing is because the buildings are so high, you just don't get the real.
Right, I better carry on.
Anyway, nice to talk to you, sir. Nice to talk to you. We say she's got plenty of fans. There's some guy yelling. No, that was me. I was clearly I do upset people, but
It's alright, he does a sterling job with the yelling.
I wonder why. Mind your hands down.
Just give us a sense of that market reaction.
Couple of things. Number one, this is Tim. What does this mean? And then Lewis. I'm actually in. If you were here on the next one, might be next one over. If you were here on the next one over. Get out one. Just put it down.
That's fine. I'll stop this one. Just fine.
Hi, Mark, you alright? No, I just basically said that if they have some members, I just said
Sorry?
I wasn't just empty. So basically, you've got two, so you did actually solve the two, so it wasn't three. You only need one or two. And you just start with in the
Labour don't seem to. It's really important to understand how this process officially works and then how it might unfold. So the official Labour Party officials say that in order to trigger the leadership contest, you need 81 MPs, that's 20% of the parliamentary Labour Party, to rally behind one candidate, one alternative to the front. That hasn't happened. Exactly the same. You have more than 80 MPs saying they want to go, or we should say a timetable is applied, but they haven't coalesced around one alternative, which is why we're in this slightly strange position where you've got all of this pressure from some parts of the Labour backbenches, and it's important to know that there are more than 200 Labour MPs in total. Some don't want to contest, some think the Prime Minister should say, some think this is all kind of self-inflicted wounds. But you can clearly see there's a lot of unrest, but they haven't reached that threshold yet to come out with kind of one possible alternative. The other thing that could happen in this situation is that the pressure within the cabinet becomes too much, because the Prime Minister have got a bit more, which is why it is so interesting.
Sorry.
Of course, they can say that, they will believe that, they hope that is true. There are some in the party that think that is absolutely the right approach, but they can't ignore everything.
Yeah, I think that's for us, right? What I was going to tell you, can I come back to Paddington to get ready for tomorrow, like all of the stuff? Because we need like quite a lot, so it's going to be like the program.
Yeah, it feels like a very fast-moving situation at the moment. I've just been over in the Houses of
What?
Parliament trying to chat with the MPs to get a sense of how they're feeling.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we've heard this argument from some now, including the Defence Secretary John Healey, who's just put out this message on social media, effectively saying there's a lot of global instability.
But I need to take something to come in the street. There's all these...
There are other look, this is unstable. You know, you've got so many people who've publicly gone over the top and expressed that they don't think that the Prime Minister is the right guy for the job. that we are now in a period of instability, whichever way you cut it. So, you know, we might as well crack on and try and get some sort of resolution to this. It still feels like things are moving quickly, but what has been interesting this morning is the very first thing.
Do you have another or not?
Cabinet meeting, what's going to happen.
No, because Mark told me that he was gonna. I can explain him because Mark told me he was gonna bring me because he's coming to tomorrow. Or I do that alone and we come here. I don't mind any of them. So, send me. No, but I mean, he's coming with me tomorrow. So, it should be fine if he has me tomorrow. But if you prefer me to stay here, I don't mind. Okay, so I stay here or no?
Okay. And then picking up with Alex off the back.
Okay. Yeah, because Oli's gonna finish quite soon, right?
Hey,
Oli might finish like relatively soon. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I will get everything ready for tomorrow.
Yes, please.
Okay. Nice. Okay, thank you. Ciao, ciao.
That sounds good. Yeah, absolutely.
There wasn't a big rally and speech. I think that's going back to what you just said about the administration.
Welcome back to Downing Street. I'm Nicola Gray, where over the last few hours we have been looking at Cabinet Ministers